Can you hear me now? Let me know. I think I had my audio possibly off. Let me know if you can hear me. No audio. Okay, let me see. Let me see why this is not working. 1 second. Okay. Is that working? Yay. Okay. Thank you for telling me. So you weren't just having to lip read or something. Awesome, Debbie. Thanks for confirming. Andrea, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me guys know where you're calling in from and yeah, how your day is going. And we're going to give people a few minutes and then we'll totally dive in. And then I'll probably ask you again if you can see my screen that I'm going to share. So I really appreciate the feedback. So I'm going to give people a couple more minutes and then we're going to dive in. So yeah. Awesome, audio is back on. Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate it. I always test before I come on, but sometimes there's little glitches, so it's really good to get feedback. All right. Well, I'll give people a few minutes, but yeah, just let me know who's on here. Hey, Debbie from Colorado. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Taking time out of your day. Janet from the front porch. I love it. That's the best place for a call. Andrea, you're calling in from Hudson. Awesome. Very nice. I'm in Portland, Oregon, calling in from my home studio here. Just the bright lights on me. I get all sweaty sometimes on these calls. All right. Eunice from Upland, California. Nice. I don't know where that is. I'm from Northern California, from Mendocino. That's where I'm originally from. Nice. All right. I'll give people a couple more minutes. Yeah, just let me know who's here and where you're calling in from. It's always nice to see. Gives me a little context. And maybe put in the chat if you have your first investment property or not, or where you're at with that, because I always like to know what my audience is. So let me know if you have an investment property, type 1 if you do, maybe 2 if you don't. Hey, Rebecca from Texas, thanks for calling in. We're going to get started soon here. I'm just giving people a few minutes. Awesome. All right, so I'll probably start screen sharing in a minute, but yeah, let me know, you guys, where you're at with your investment journey. If you have a property, to put a 1 in the chat. Just helps me kind of know where you're at. So, okay, I'm going to start diving in here. I'll give people another minute, but I'm going to start sharing. So let me know if you can see my screen. So I'm going to present. Okay, just give me 1 second here. You're going to see my little messy screen for a minute. Share. Whoops. Not that kind of share. Slideshow. Okay. So guys, let me know if you can see my screen. She's got assets, bold moves, and real estate. Debbie says, I'm learning to analyze a deal and look at numbers. Awesome. Yay, no investments yet. Now, analyzing is super duper important. I'm definitely going to cover that. I think people don't sometimes do that enough and they get dealitis. So can everyone see my screen and hear me okay? If you can just let me know, that would be great. Awesome, Andrea. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm going to dive in with my little presentation here. It's kind of my story, how I got into being an investor, and hopefully it'll inspire you guys. I'll give you some tips. I'm going to talk about the course I'm offering and all that good stuff. So I'm going to dive in, and just feel free to post questions as I'm going along, and then we can do some extra Q&A at the end. So I appreciate everyone taking the time to join me today. So let's see. So my name is Shona Lepis. I've been a long-time buy and hold investor. I have done a couple courses. One of them is on midterm rentals, and I have my latest course is called She's Got Assets. I can't say that name without smiling. Bold Moves in Real Estate. And the aim of the course is to empower women real estate investors to buy their first investment property. I'm really passionate about that. I think it's really important. So I'm going to kind of dive into my story a little bit and how I got here. And then we're going to kind of cover what the course covers and, all the tips and tricks and stuff. So here we go. So a little bit about me. I was raised by capitalist hippies. Growing up, I helped run the family vacation rental business. It was kind of like an Airbnb before that was a thing. We had it's called vacation rentals. People would come for a week or a couple nights. So we're always like making beds and cleaning, and there was always laundry in the dryer, and it was just very homegrown operation. So it's kind of in my DNA, you could say. And I'm originally from California. very expensive. I thought I would never afford real estate. It just seemed very unattainable, and like fixtures were just like crazy expensive. And then eventually I did become a landlord in 2006. So I've been at this for a while. And I used to really hide that I was a landlord. I thought I'd be judged, or I was an evil landlord. And, I've kind of changed that, but that's how kind of my journey. Before being a full-time real estate investor, my previous kind of hats were I founded a boutique graphic design studio. I used to do website designs and logos and creative stuff. And then I co-founded a creative agency with my husband that we sold. You can kind of see our scrappy little team here. So that was fun. So I kind of have creative juices. It's kind of what I'm passionate about. So I've been an entrepreneur my whole career, pretty much. Always been self-employed or in some form of business. As somebody once put it, you're an outside cat. I'm totally an outside cat, kind of unemployable at this point, kind of feral. So our real estate investment was always a side hobby. Then I took some courses and, I'm full-time in it. So I'm really passionate about it. So I went too far here. So that's a little bit about my background. This is my official bio. What makes me look all important, right? I'm the founder of Student Porch Investments. And I think everyone sees these kind of bios and they think, oh, you just magically landed as an investor and it was super easy, but it's been kind of a long twisty path. So I like to give a little more unofficial bio. But in general, I've been an investor for over 17 years. I operate a mix of long and short-term rentals in Portland, Oregon, where I live with my husband and two adorable children and cute dog and cat, and we're all just perfect, right? This is my little family here. So this is kind of the story of how I got started as being an investor. It all started way back in 2005. I came to visit some friends in Portland, Oregon. I'd just been through like a crazy breakup. I was with my boyfriend at the time for 8 years, and I was just like, I need to change a pace. So I came to Portland to visit friends. I just basically never left. My friends were buying a house and I saw how affordable it was. And I'm like, maybe I could buy a house, which was just kind of mind blowing. So this is my first little house. It's a little bungalow. I bought it as an owner occupied. It was owner occupied. It was stated income, which back in the day, we all know how that went, but I made it work. I had roommates. Now it's called house hacking, but I put an ad up on Craigslist and rented to total strangers, and it was fine. It was, sweat equity. That's how I paid the mortgage. So that was my first house. And just going back one slide. So this first house actually bought 2 other houses. I was able to leverage the equity that this house built into like the portfolio that we have now. So that's why I'm really passionate about buying and holding and the power of leverage and the power of equity. And then I'm just passionate about real estate and really empowering people to get started. And I believe in buy and hold properties. So I have a real estate podcast called Cedar and Porch. So if anyone hasn't checked it out, definitely look it up. I appreciate the support. And I try and interview interesting people and just talk about strategies and unpack things. So before I kind of dive into what's in the course, I just kind of want to let people know, like, hey, this is my experience. This is what I've done, just to give, so you don't wonder, like, well, what experience do you have? So I'm going to go over kind of my portfolio, just give you guys an overview. I did a couple of remodels. This are fix and flips. This was my first one. It's like a mid-century ranch style. I actually bought it on market with an agent. So this was one of my first flips. It was super fun. We kept a lot of the original character, but kind of modernized it a bit. This was another flip. This was really fun. We got a little more creative with some like fun tile and color and stuff. This was an off-market lead from my Carrot website. So I'm going to be covering in my course, like, how to find properties on and off market. I think there's a lot of opportunity on market that we forget about. And then let's see. Yeah. And this was my third flip. I did it in a month. We did a new roof, new sewer line, new electrical panel, like new floors, new paint. It was intense. Learned a lot. This is also an off-market lead, and I bought it with owner finance, seller carry. So this is one of the more creative deals. That is kind of the overview of. I'm mostly a buy and hold investor, and these are my long-term holds. This is the Craftsman duplex. It's a midterm rental. This is like the front side of the unit. Then this is the other side of it. This is like a long-term rental. So I like the mix of multifamily with one side long-term, one side midterm. Definitely really like that strategy. You kind of balance out your turnovers and whatnot, and you really maximize your cash flow. And this is a duplex that we bought a couple of years ago. When we bought this on market again with an agent, and we bought it with a DSCR loan. So lots of creative stuff, a DSCR loan. And we kind of did a big refi on our long-term investments. We had a chunk of cash, and then I kind of stumbled on DSCR, which I will talk about in the course. It's a great loan product. That I really am a big fan of. So this is, these are both sides of this are midterms. This is the front side, this is the back side. I did some light rehab on it, like put up the fence, did some painting. The kitchen was pretty awful. It wasn't painted. It was like that oak kind of cabinets. Put some hardware on, put a micro hood in. So just kind of modernize it a little bit. And then of course I furnished it. This is the downstairs unit. So they each have private fence yards. I found that that's a really big amenity that people want. They want to bring their pets. They want private yards. And then this is the most modern property we have in the portfolio. It's actually right down the street from us. And the story on this one is that it was a new build. It was a spec house, and we've been kind of watching it go up and just admiring it because it's super modern and cool. And they kind of kept dropping the price. And then we had been doing a HELOC at our house at the same time, and we decided to use our HELOC from our owner occupied house to buy this house. So that's just like an example of the power of leveraging equity that I teach people about, that I think people don't realize. You have assets. You can buy property without having all the money in the bank. There's creative ways to do it. This is the ADU. So you see on this picture, like there's actually down here, this is where the little ADU is, and this is a really successful midterm rental. So it's fully furnished for 30+ day stays. And this is my first little house that's been a rental for a long time. I've had tenants in there for years. This is another single family house that we bought a couple years ago. And it's got a great yard. Yeah, it's definitely, I have a mix of midterm and long term. So this is just a really sweet little house in the neighborhood. And this is whoops, I went too far. This is another property that we have. It's a single family. And then, of course, our primary residence. So this is where we live. So that's kind of my background, right? Kind of why I believe in buy and hold investing. I've been able to really leverage the assets we have into more assets. And that's, to me, the power of real estate and passive income. So with that all being said, if it's okay with you guys, I'd love to kind of introduce you to my course. Audio is fuzzy. Sorry about that. I think I'll have to use my microphone for it next time I have my earbuds in. So I hope you can hear me. Perfect. So my new course is called She's Got Assets. It's Bold Moves in Real Estate. So this course is for you if you want to learn how to buy your first investment property. I think there's this myth that we have to, start out with flipping and wholesaling and have that first terrible flip that's like a rite of passage where you lose a bunch of money and you fire 3 contractors and it's just kind of a nightmare, right? And you can lose money on it. So I'm a big believer in you need to start with buying and holding, or you can do other stuff, but I'm teaching how to get your first investment property, creative ways to do that. So I will be covering, mindset. I think that's really important, the power of mindset, the power of intention and having goals. Then we'll be covering financing. We're going to cover everything from conventional financing, W-2 conventional loans to DSCR loans and to owner carry. So everything kind of in between. There's a lot of powerful strategies, and then how to find properties. We're going to cover kind of marketing strategies for off-market and on-market properties. I think there's a lot of opportunity on market that people don't realize. So I think that's a real opportunity, especially now as the rates are high and things are sitting. And then we're going to cover creative deal structuring, how to underwrite deals, how to analyze them, look at your numbers back and forth, and we're going to dive into some more creative stuff like owner carry, lease options, all that kind of stuff. And then as a bonus, if you sign up before Friday, I'm going to be doing a kind of extra thing on developing your personal brand as an investor, how to leverage tools like AI to get your message out there, to kind of embrace being an investor. I think that's really important. It's certainly been a journey for me. So that is the course. And then, so the doors are open, and, the way it's structured is there'll be a month of live coaching calls. And after those calls, they will be put into a course platform available on demand. There'll be lifetime access to that. There'll be an additional 2 months of coaching calls to really dive into your deals, do hot seats, analyze things. There'll be a private Facebook community for support, and there'll be lots of downloads and whatnot for like deal analyzers, checklists, all the things that you need to look at a property to really analyze a deal. So that's kind of the overview. And then, the doors are open until this Friday. The spots are filling up fast. So I definitely think it's really going to get you off the fence, and it's a really valuable tool. And it's a lot of the knowledge I've learned that I'm going to pass on to people and help them get started. So I will drop the links in the chat, and the next steps, you can like book a call with me to kind of see if it's the right strategy for you. So if you want to book a call, you can do it right here. I've kind of opened my calendar up. I'm certainly happy to do that. You can kind of tell me where you're at. I can give you some tips and tricks and some strategies. And then if you're interested in joining, I'll drop a link in as well. The doors are open, so you're welcome to join. But I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has questions. There is also a payment plan option, so I will drop that in here as well. So yeah, I could hang out for a few minutes. If you have questions, feel free to chime in. Happy to take, even if it's basic, just let me know what you think, if you got any value from that. Thank you, Andrea. Oregon's a good place to live. It is a great place. And being a landlord here is not easy, or we're kind of not very landlord friendly, but I firmly believe, having nice properties, taking good care of your properties, being a good landlord, then you attract quality tenants. So that's kind of my take on it. It's not easy. A lot of people won't be landlords here. So yeah, any other questions? I'm going to scroll back through. Feel free to chime in. I will hang out for a few minutes. But yeah, I definitely, I think that a lot of people start out with flipping and wholesaling, and they kind of put off the buy and hold. And I think that's really, really important to start your journey. Why we're all doing this for, financial freedom and passive income. So yeah, I will hang out for a few minutes. Feel free to type anything and let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, if you want to book a call with me, let me know. Yeah, so I'll hang out for a few minutes, but yeah, I appreciate everyone taking the time from their lunch hour to join me. I know everyone's busy. Yeah, let's see, yeah, let me know. There's a little bit of a lag here, but let me know if you have questions, if you can hear me okay. Super happy to answer questions. Yeah, definitely really passionate about this. I think there's a lot of courses out there, but a lot of them really focus on, wholesaling and flipping. And I think, that's great, but I think true investing is really buying and holding properties. And I think that's really important. And there's a lot of tools and strategies that people don't know about that are really powerful. So I'm excited to share that. Well, I'll give people a couple more minutes. If you have questions, feel free. Nothing is too basic. Really feel free to pop them in, maybe put them at the top if I missed them earlier. I'm going to stop screen sharing now, but you can also, just so you know, you can take a picture of this slide and it will drop you in. If you want to join the course, it'll drop you in there. If you want to book a call, just get your smartphone out, take a picture. Super easy to get those links into your phone. So yeah, let me know. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Let's see. Awesome. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'm going to just check the audio here. It looks like there's no more questions. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through here. Sorry about the audio being fuzzy. I will certainly. Oh, can I cover what's included again? Yeah. So what's included? Let me go back over again. I'm gonna go back and look at my notes here. What's included? So I'll circle back to that. So what's included is kind of the overview of the course is we're going to cover kind of mindset, and I think that's a really important, mindset and goals of what your vision is and why you're doing real estate investing. And then we're going to cover financing, and we're going to cover conventional and creative financing strategies. I think there's a lot of hidden gems in there that people don't realize. You can use conventional financing, or you can get really creative. Then we're going to cover finding properties, from on market to off market, and then creative deal structuring, how to underwrite deals, owner carry, lease options, all that good stuff. And then as a bonus, if you sign up for Friday, I'm going to kind of do a little bonus section on developing your personal brand as an investor. So that's the overview. And again, if you want to book a call with me, I can really dive into any of those things, more in depth if you have questions or seeing how it applies to you. I'm happy to do that. So yes, and Eunice is asking, do you find the rent covers your mortgage payment? Yes, I don't buy a property unless I can make the rent cover the payment. I mean, it depends if you're like an owner occupy it, maybe house hack, right? There's a little nuance there, but I'm definitely looking to have the mortgage cover the rent cover the mortgage. That's why I'm really big on the midterm, because oftentimes to make things cash flow, you need to, do something extra like that. So I'll be covering how to analyze properties from a long-term perspective, from the midterm perspective, and just making sure your numbers work. Andrea, you're asking, will I cover the course again? It'll probably come back up at some point. Right now, the doors are open. I don't know when that will be. So, and it's a really unique opportunity because I'll be live teaching the content. So that is an opportunity. Yeah. And Rebecca, your question about the finances. Yeah. If you pay up front, it's $3,000 one time fee. You save $500. Or if you want to do the payment plan, you're paying full price. So there's kind of a benefit to paying upfront just one time, then you save $500, but it's totally up to you depending on your budget, how you want to do that. What does the coaching schedule look like? It'll probably, the first month, it'll be twice a week, probably at noon. And I'll be doing like live calls. If you can't make it, you can always listen to the replays, and I'll have my schedule out by next week. So that will be the how that works. How much is the program? Yeah, so the program is it's, if you pay up front, it's $3,500. If you pay one time, it's $35. If you pay up front, you save $500 and it's $3,000. Those are kind of introductory prices. They'll probably be going up for the next session. And then if you want to do the payment plan, it's about $1,200 a month for 3 months. Clara says, thank you, Shona. I started to look for properties in Fredericksburg, San Antonio, and Kentucky. Okay, ready to dive in. That sounds good. Yeah, feel free to book a call. We can talk about all that. Yeah, the coaching schedule will probably be the first month, 2 calls a week. And then after that, there'll be 2 extra months of just weekly, coaching calls to deep dive into deals and analyze things or whatnot. So that is the schedule. Yeah, I think those are all the questions. But yeah, I hope I got everything. Feel free to, follow up with me, message me. But my goal is that if you take this program, you will, be under contract. You're going to have your first investment property, before the end of a year. That's really what I would love for students to do. So that is the goal. Well, thanks everyone. I don't see any other questions, but again, feel free to message me. Feel free to book a call. I can answer all your specific questions, any more details that you want, and see if, make sure it's a good fit for you. But yeah, thanks so much for taking the time today. I'm going to log off in a minute, and yeah, just reach out with questions, or if you want to get in, the board had a lot of interest. So if you want to save your spot, let me know and I'll do that for you. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to sign off and I will talk to you soon. Awesome. Okay, you guys have a good day. Reach out with any questions.